So one of our group head of Skill Capital, he was supposed to do this presentation.
本来是我们有另外的一个我们公司的高管想做这个 presentation。
But somehow he decided to become a lawyer too, so he has his lawyer exam.
He's a lawyer.
No, he's becoming a lawyer, so he's got his exam.
他现在想做律师，所以他今天参加那个律师考试去了。
So he's going to be more dangerous now, finance and law together.
所以他对他来讲可能更危险，就是金融和法律他都有所涉及。
So at least from Martha's questions, I know nobody's sleeping here because people are actually listening.
至少从刚才马特给大家这个演讲中，我觉得大家状态都很好，没人睡觉，大家都在积极的参与。
So as we discussed earlier, that that one of the strategy for the Chinese companies to go global is by acquiring companies internationally.
刚才我们提到了这个中国企业走全球化的其中的一个方法就是并购。
Obviously, this strategy is mainly for the more established companies.
这个方式可能会适用于那种已经稍微有一些成型的公司。
And particularly in Dalian, because it is a IT services company, so it is more focused on how the IT service company can go global.
那首先，尤其是在大连呢，我们可能会针对一些 IT 服务公司来考虑这些 IT 服务公司怎么走国际化的路线。
So, and how many companies in this room are already established IT service companies?
现在我们今天在场的公司里面有多少是这种从事 IT 服务公司的？
Right, quite many. All right, thank you.
挺多的。
So first I'll go through why should you acquire a global company somewhere in the world.
首先，我想跟大家陈述一下这个原因，就是为什么要通过并购来走全球化的路线。
So as we know that the world is dynamic, it is changing very fast, and it is going at a speed like 100 miles per hour. You want to get into that train of globalization by start running first and get on the train.
我们都知道现在世界就是发展速度非常的快。那举个例子，就是说，如果它是一个正在急速飞驰的这样的一个高速列车的话，那如果你想追赶上这辆列车，那你需要先跑起来。
So it is very expensive, and also it is very time-consuming to establish a global brand from ground zero or from scratch, from start. So that's why it is better to acquire an already an existing company to hit the ground running.
但所以说，如果你想白手起家，什么都没有的情况下来创建一个全球品牌是非常难的，而且这个也非常贵。
The second one is that that you tap into the global innovation.
下一点就是你可以接入全球的创新。
Because right now it is impossible to do every kind of innovation in-house.
现在就是说，你想关起门来自己在家创新是不可能的。
So what is the difference between research and innovation?
那在研究和创新中间有什么区别呢？
So research is spending money to generate knowledge.
那研究就是说你投入资本，然后产生知识。
While the innovation is using knowledge to generate money.
那创新正好是反过来，就是用你的这个知识来赚钱。
Now what has happened because of the internet, the product development cycle time has reduced. Product development cycle time. Product development time of product development has reduced.
OK，所以现在就是产品研发的这个时间变短了。
Today we can develop product much faster, much faster, in a very lean way, in a very cost-effective way, anywhere in the world.
所以现在我们产品研发可以以一种低成本、快速的方式实现。
So instead of trying to invent it in-house, it is better to look at the global innovation ecosystem and maybe acquire a company outside.
那就是说，与其说是在家闭起门来研发，还不如说看一看国际的这个创新的生态大环境，然后通过并购实现。
The other reason, as we discussed earlier, that by acquiring a company internationally, you can also overcome the language issue.
那并购同时也能够帮你解决这个语言障碍的问题。
Because you can have the whole team, and then preferably if it is an English-speaking team, then you already have now a team which speaks English.
那你可能会雇佣一个完全都可以讲英文的这样一个团队。
And also that can lead to, like, you can have a great team.
然后呢，你可以有一个非常强劲的团队。
So we have Cross-Border Angels, which is an investor group, and one of the way we evaluate the company is we look at the team multiplied by product, multiplied by market, multiplied by timing is equivalent to renminbi.
我们现在也在做一些天使投资的这一方面的相关业务。那我们在评估和观察这个公司的时候，我们首先会看它的团队，其次会看它的产品，再看它的市场，同时也要考虑这个时机。
Yeah, so when you buy a company internationally, you have to focus that not only it has a great product, but it has a great team.
所以当你要是并购的时候，你需要看你这个目标并购公司不仅是产品非常棒，同时它的团队也要很好。
And then you want to focus on the companies with either have revenue or traction.
所以同时你要看的这个公司呢，要么就是它是已经有可以看得见的收入，或者是它即使现在看不到收入，但是已经有了很好的这个市场牵引力。
So what do I mean by traction?
这 traction 这牵引力是什么？
Traction is, even if may not have revenue, but you have maybe number of users, the number of gaming users, any app you may have or any product you may have, you have number of users, we still may not be producing any revenue.
所以刚才也就像说过的这个 traction，市场牵引力或潜力，就是说，虽然你现在在公司的这个收益上还没有见效，但是你可能已经有了很多用户。
Years back, I used to joke about it that when people used to say that how many eyeballs are looking at my website.
过去曾经开玩笑说，有很多人问到底有多少双眼球正在看着我的网站呢？
And I used to say that eyeballs will not buy groceries.
Eyeballs will
not buy food. Eyeballs, you have number of eyeballs, it doesn't mean any money, right?
那个就是眼球的那个东西不能换。
But I was wrong. I was wrong because actually the number of users has been buying a lot of things. WhatsApp was sold in how many $billion? $19 billion without revenue.
对，但是我说我错了，其实那个眼球其实就是意味着这个公众的关注度。曾经我认为公众的关注度是不能换钱的，但是现在看起来可以产生很大的收益。
So when you buy a product company internationally, it's not important that only revenue. It could be that they may have traction.
所以说，我们需要关注的是这个公司不仅仅是收益，还有这个市场的潜力是非常非常重要的。
The other reason is when you buy an international a global company, you can either use the technology or the business model for back home in the Chinese market.
另外一个你的关注点可以，当你就是要并购这个公司的时候，它这个目标公司的技术或者是商业模式，也可以对你本土市场的销售有利。
And correct me if I'm wrong, but if you have an American brand, it will have a little bit more American or let's say European brand. It will have a premium in Chinese market.
大家可以纠正我哈，但是我认为说，如果你要是有一个欧洲或者是美国的这样的一个品牌，那它在中国已经有了一个这样前提的优势。
So the money you're spending in acquiring a global brand or a global product can also have an effect in your back home in your own company in the Chinese market.
所以你投在这个美国、欧洲市场上的钱一定不白花，对你中国的市场肯定有帮助。
And also, since the business models and creativity, which is happening globally, you can also look at that. Is it possible to use that kind of business model in the Chinese market?
然后你同时也考虑这个，就比如说欧美市场成功的这个商业模式，是不是也可以复制到中国？
This also goes back into something called reverse innovation.
这个就是说反向的创新。
For example, General Electric, was entering into Indian market, and they found a certain medical products only for the Indian market, rural market.
General Electronics， 通用公司就是进入到了印度之后，发现了在印度非常 unique for Indian market， 发现了一个产品，那这个产品对于印度市场是非常独特、非常有竞争力的。
But over the time, they found that the same model and the same product was also suitable for American rural market.
所以当时他发现这个适合印度的产品的时候，发现其实对美国市场也非常的受欢迎。
So it's called frugal innovation. Frugal, less money innovation.
是那种比较节约型的创新。
So what I'm saying is that technology and business models it can be cross-border, it can be extremely useful for your domestic market.
所以我的意思就是说，这个科技还有商业模式是完全可以跨国界的，对于你本土市场肯定是有帮助。
The other one is, for any innovation, most important is immigration.
对任何的一个全球化的这个进程中
，what is the single
移动非常重要。
what is the single biggest factor of why Silicon Valley is so innovative?
硅谷为什么这么有创新性呢？
Because the whole world's brains are in that one location.
因为全世界的人才都涌向硅谷。
So when you have different culture and different brains, it will mix with other people, and it will change the culture of your company.
当大家的这个文化和思维方式不同的时候，就一定会产生碰撞，那对你公司肯定是有利的。
And particularly, if you are used to a process-oriented IT service, you need some creative people coming from outside who are good in product companies.
那尤其是比如说你从事的这种传统流行的 IT 公司、传统流程的 IT 公司，你就需要有一个创新背景的这个员工加入到里面。
Also, there are various work ethics, right? So you will be exposed to different work ethics when you build a global team.
所以当你是一个全球化的团队的时候，你也会接触到不同的行业。
I think 2 years back, I think when Amy was on India, we had about 10 interns from around the world in our India office.
2年前我们在印度的这个公司里面，大概有10几个人都是国外的海外团队。
And that created a different kind of cultural mix and understanding of what is happening in the world.
给公司的这个文化也带来了不一样的反应。
The other reason why you want to buy global companies is to access global capital.
另外一个就是你需要接入全球的资本。
Because once you have a company outside, once you have a product business outside, you have traction outside, now you can raise money internationally.
当你的足迹一旦就是步入到海外的时候，你就可以吸入海外的资本。
And it is also possible that if the product company becomes very exponentially successful, it can also affect your parent company, in a big way.
所以当你的这个产品公司变得非常成功的时候，它也可以有对你的母公司，对它的原来的母公司有益处。
So from why, I will now focus on how to acquire companies and what are the factors you have to look at.
下面我要想讲讲这个并购的方式，你需要考虑到的一些因素。
So if you want to buy a company somewhere, don't restrict to only the US or Europe. Innovation is happening everywhere.
不要只局限在这个欧洲和美国市场，其实全世界都是在创新的。
Only this year, this is my 6th round the world trip.
就是在今年，这已经是第6次他的这个全世界的旅行。
And I'm going around the world, and I find cool companies everywhere.
我现在就是到很多国家，发现处处都有非常棒的创新型的公司。
But the company could be anywhere, but you want the company to be operating in transparent locations.
是的，全球性的创新公司到处都有，但是你希望你的这个目标公司一定要坐落于这一个透明性的行政辖区。
So what I mean by transparent locations, a location like Singapore or Hong Kong or London, or Estonia. These are the places where it is easy to raise money, it's easy to do business, it's easy to do the transaction.
我之所以说的这种透明性的区域和地区，比如说可以举例像新加坡香港、伦敦像这样的城市和地区，那它融资很容易，运营起来也有保障，然后你做这个交易的时候也是很顺畅的。
So for example, we, as I said earlier, we have a group called Cross Border Angels, which has invested in a company in India, but not in India. We moved the company's head office to Singapore, and we invested in Singapore.
刚才我也提到，我们做这个天使投资这一部分业务，我们就是要投一个印度的公司，但是我们投它的时候，希望就已经把它的总部挪到了新加坡，我们投在了新加坡。
So as I said earlier, you can find the company anywhere, but you can move the company into jurisdiction which is transparent.
所以这两点结合起来，就是说，你可以在世界的任何一个角落发现这样的有创新实力的公司，但是你可以把它挪到一个透明性的区域。
Then also because you're in China, and China is similar to like in a lot of difficult country to do business.
中国可以说和世界上的很多国家来讲一样，就是做生意或者做这个事业还是稍微有一些难度的。
So we recommend that, I suggest that you can set up your acquiring company outside China.
所以我希望你可以考虑说，收购一个公司，可以把这个公司放在一个做业务、开展业务更容易一些的国家。
So again, your acquiring company could be in Hong Kong or in Singapore or any of those locations.
还是像我刚才提到那几个地方，新加坡啊、伦敦啊、香港啊，你都可以考虑。
And the reasons are, again, ease of, buying or selling companies. How easy it is to buy or sell company.
就是买入和卖出这个公司是不是很简单呢，还是很难呢
？And also the IP management, the intellectual property management.
还有这个知识产权的管理。
Look for innovative companies and with revenue attraction, but not necessarily that it should have too many assets.
那这一点的建议就是说，当你看这个，或者是当你考察这一个创新型公司的时候，你可能会关注它的收入或者是它的市场潜力，但是不一定是实实在在的那种固定性的资产。
Because a lot of companies coming out of developing country has a tendency to invest in real estate and they like in touch and feel, but really what is important here is the team and innovation and the product.
那很多的这种发展型的国家的投资者，他们很希望投这种实业型的房地产啊，但是这种创新型的公司可能是类型不一样的。
And the way she was talking about, the same thing, provide the capital more than you think you need.
那这一点我和玛塔女士我们讲的是一样的，你需要准备比你想象的需要的更多的这个资本。
Because when you are doing a product company, your initial graph is going to be much deeper.
那当你做一个产品型的公司的时候，你最开始的这个相当于你的成长的曲线是先往下走的。
But then it can scale very well, because per employee revenue of a product company is always higher than an IT service company.
那之后的这个发展动力还是很大的，发展的潜力还是很大的，因为这种的产品型的公司前期的投入会比较多。
So basically what I'm saying is that if you get into the product side, it is going to be more capital intensive business.
所以说，如果我的意思就是说，如果你想做一个这种有品牌的产品型公司，最开始的资本还是对公司有一定的激励作用的。
And also, I think you should identify the product or company which is in a strategic alliance with your business objectives and the strength of the company. Sometimes you fall in love with something which may not be in line.
这一点讲的就是说，你雇佣的这个全球性的团队一定要和你公司的战略方向是一致的。有的时候你可能一时兴起比较喜欢一个东西或者一个方向，但一定要注意是不是和你的战略方向一致。
In many cases, you may not have to acquire the entire company. You can actually make co-investment with other smart investors globally.
那同时，其实你是可以和一些这种所谓的精英或精明的投资者共同投资的。
So you can provide your low cost base from China, also your market in China, and also it has the same benefit which I talked about for a company acquisition.
那你同时还可以就是说继续保持你中国成本低啊、中国市场广阔的这些优势。
And then I think we can also you establish a tech scouting team. That means there's so many things happening around the world that how to find these companies. You need to provide a team, or you can outsource that function of identifying cool small companies.
这一点讲到的就是说这种关于全球科技的追踪、调查、侦查，那你可以自己有这样的一个团队来抓住全世界现在科技的最新动向，也可以把这部分业务外包出去。
And earlier you identify, it will be cheaper to buy. Earlier you identify the startup or a company, it will be cheaper to buy. The valuation will be lower.
所以你越早发现的这个有潜力的并购的公司，你需要付出的成本就是花更少的钱就可以把它买下来。
And this is not for everyone, but for the best return on investment, you can also set up your own incubator somewhere in the world.
这一点可能是比较有一些特定的针对性，所以说如果你想达到最好的这个投资回报率，那你需要在这个全球的热点地区建立一些全球性的孵化器。
So the global hotspots are like many places in the U.S. or it could be in Europe, which already has the innovation ecosystem and support infrastructure.
那这个所谓的热点地区，可能是在欧洲啊，或者是美国的一些地方，它的这个创新环境非常好，而且有很好的生态系统。
And what should we invest? These are some of the things which we see that it is becoming important. Is social media.
那我建议的这几点投资的领域，第一个就是社交媒体。
Any mobile apps or mobile infrastructure companies.
移动互联网。
Data analytics, big data.
大数据或者数据分析。
Cloud computing.
云计算。
And public and private cloud.
私有云和公用云。
Connectivity, which is the whole internet-based, infrastructure.
就是以这个互联网为基准的这样的整体的这个行业。
And the artificial intelligence.
还有一个就是人工智能。
Yeah. And so the way I sum up this is that we are all collectively today using mobile to upload intelligence through connectivity, put it in the cloud, create social media that is good for the big data.
他对很巧妙的把这几点其实都联系了起来。那我们现在有这个第二点的移动互联网，还有人工智能，然后把这些所有的东西都上传到第四点的云里面，然后通过连接生成了这个社交媒体，然后最后可以供分析大数据。
So now she's expert in digital marketing. Okay, thank you very much.